Okay, so you know Bob Marley, right? The reggae legend. One love, three little birds.
Yeah, of course.
Right. But did you know that there's this whole world of conspiracy theories surrounding his death?
Oh, really? I knew he died young, but...
Yeah, officially it was cancer, but some people think there's more to the story.
Hmm.
We're going to dive into this article that lays it all out. The assassination attempt, the Cold War paranoia, and there's even a theory about a poisoned boot.
A poisoned what?
A boot. We'll get to that. But first, who is Bob Marley in the context of all this?
Well, he was obviously a global music icon.
Right. But it goes deeper.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he was super involved in Jamaican politics.
Like how so?
Well, his music, like those songs you mentioned, One Love, all that, it really resonated with the people pushing for social change, you know?
Yeah.
But that also made him a target, especially during the Cold
I
War.
didn't realize Jamaica was so caught up in all that.
Oh, yeah, big time. It was the 70s, Cold War was at its peak,
Right.
and Jamaica, politically, it was, well, let's just say a lot of people were watching it very closely.
And Marley was right in the middle of it.
Absolutely. He was all about unity, resistance, pan-Africanism even, which was basically a movement to unify and empower people of African descent.
Wow, I never knew that about him.
Yeah, and that made some powerful people nervous, especially in the U.S.
Oh, right.
Which brings us to the assassination attempt. You familiar with that?
Vaguely. I know he was shot at some point.
Yeah, in 1976, just 2 days before a huge concert he was supposed to play.
What? 2 days before a concert?
Crazy, right? The concert was called Smile Jamaica,
Okay.
organized by Prime Minister Michael Manley.
Who Marley supported.
Exactly. So the timing, it's, well, it makes you wonder.
So he gets shot at 2 days before this massive concert for a prime minister he supports, and the Cold War's raging in the background.
It's a lot. Marley was only slightly injured, thankfully, but his wife, Rita, and his manager were seriously hurt. So yeah, that incident really fueled the whole CIA conspiracy theory fire.
Makes sense. Did the CIA think he was that dangerous?
Well, that's what some people think. They say the CIA saw him as this threat to U.S. interests in the Caribbean.
I mean, was he really that powerful?
His influence was huge, absolutely. He was a global superstar, spreading this message of peace and unity, but also resistance. And, you know, the CIA has a history of intervening.
Yeah, I guess so.
Whether they were actually involved with Marley, who knows? But it's definitely a possibility some people consider.
So, about that boot.
Okay, you ready for this one?
Lay it on me.
Okay, so the theory goes that this guy, posing as a journalist, gave Marley a pair of boots.
The pair of boots, okay.
But one of the boots, supposedly, was laced with some kind of cancer-causing substance.
No way.
It sounds wild, I know, but that's the theory. This poison boot somehow led to the cancer that eventually killed him.
But, I mean, is there any evidence of that?
Honestly, no, not really. It's one of those things that sounds so crazy it kind of sticks around.
Right, but it's probably not true.
Probably not. Most scholars and biographers, they pretty much agree that Marley died from the melanoma he was diagnosed with back in '77.
That makes more sense. I mean, cancer is a horrible disease.
It really is.
But why do these conspiracy theories stick around? It's not just the boot. There's a lot of them surrounding Marley.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It is.
I think part of it is people want answers, especially when someone like Marley dies so young. It's hard to accept.
Yeah, I get that.
Plus, there's this, you know, cultural mistrust of government agencies like the CIA.
They haven't exactly earned our trust, have they?
Right. So when something unexplained happens, people look for patterns, for hidden agendas, and that's how these theories take root.
It makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the takeaway here? What should people keep in mind after listening to this?
Well, I think the biggest thing is Bob Marley's legacy. It's incredible. He really transcended borders with his music and his message. It's powerful stuff. But it also made him a target in a world consumed by the Cold War. The CIA involvement, it might be a stretch, but the fact that people believe it, it speaks volumes about the times, you know, and about Marley's impact.
It's like even in death, he's still stirring things up.
Exactly. It also reminds us to be critical of the information we come across. Question everything, dig deeper.
Yeah, but that's good advice for anything, really.
Absolutely.
All right, so we've explored some pretty wild theories about Bob Marley's death.
We have.
And while we may never have definitive answers,
That's true.
it's good to think about these things, right? Question the official narrative, consider different perspectives.
It keeps things interesting, for sure.
It does. And, you know, sometimes those unanswered questions are what keep the conversation going, keep us thinking. So that's it for this deep dive into the mysteries surrounding Bob Marley.
It's been fascinating.
It really has. And to everyone listening, keep questioning, keep exploring, and as always, stay curious. We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See you then.